Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who is a Democrat representative, drew outrage from American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC, with her criticism of blind U.S. support for Israel. She suggested, the Republican Party's support for Israel was driven by campaign donations from a prominent pro-Israel group. Ilhan Omar singled out AIPAC as the source of those donations. Ms. Omar's comments touched upon a long-running and ugly thread of the anti-Semitic movement that Jewish money fuels backing for Israel in the United States and elsewhere. A newly elected Somali-born Muslim member of the U.S. Congress, Ilhan Omar, 37, is under attack from powerful right-wing politicians for pushing her progressive views. But, the more serious onslaught is being unleashed against her by an influential pro-Israel group, for having dared to challenge the stranglehold of Jewish diaspora over the U.S. body politic. So far, to her credit, she has refused to wilt under pressure and has reaffirmed her commitment to her faith. She was one of the first 2 Muslim women elected to Congress and is the first minority woman to serve as a U.S. representative from Minnesota. Max Rose, a fresh Democrat of New York, said, "Congresswoman Omar's statements are deeply hurtful to Jews, including myself." Ilhan Omar, the gutsy newcomer, has also taken on President Donald Trump, saying, "It's an everyday assault. Every day, a part of your identity is threatened, demonized, and vilified. Trump is tapping into an ugly part of our society and freeing its ugliness. It's been a challenge to try to figure out how to continue the inclusion, how to show up every day and make sure that people who identify with all the marginalized identities I carry, feel represented." President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu both have targeted her for having boldly exposed them. In a statement made in the wake of a recent AIPAC conference in Washington, where Mr. Netanyahu was a guest speaker, she said, "White supremacist violence is on the rise globally. Right-wing extremists killed more people in the U.S. in 2018 than in any year since 1995. Anti-Semitic violence accounted for 58% of religious hate crimes."
Yes or no, do you think that massacre was a fabulous achievement that happened under our watch?
That is a ridiculous question, and
yes or no?
No.
I will take that as a yes.
I am not going to respond to that kind of personal attack, which is not a question.
She also opposes Donald Trump's decision to build wall along Mexico border, immigrants ban, unconditional support to Saudi regime, interference in Middle East and Venezuela. Ilhan Omar has shaken up politics in the United States within 4 months after her swearing in, but whether she would remain consistent amid intensifying pressures and threats remains to be seen.
Wise afternoon.